Now, it doesn't matter what hormonal symptom you're presenting with, whether it be painful periods or weight gain, brain fog, all the many spectrums of hormonal imbalances, there is 9 times out of 10 always an adrenal hormone component. Okay, so your adrenal hormones quite often get overlooked. We only think about estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, those classic reproductive hormones, but our adrenal system plays such a vital role in your day-to-day life. It controls our stress response. It's involved in blood glucose regulation, energy production, and most importantly, maintaining homeostasis. So if you're someone that is not regulating your stress response properly, and I say not regulating your stress response properly because the reality is we've all got stress in our lives, every single one of us. Yes, some people have a lot more than others, but it's your stress coping mechanism that is what really makes a difference, because we were actually designed to encounter stress, especially where we came from prehistorically, back in the caveman days. We were living in stress. We had to fight and scavenge for our food. We were running away from predators. We were dealing with the elements without our modern day luxuries in terms of air cons and heating and washing machines and all these beautiful things we have now. Life was extremely stressful back in the day, and so our bodies were designed to withstand stress. So it's your stress coping mechanisms, your body's ability to, go from adrenaline to norepinephrine, your body's ability to maintain and regulate your cortisol. And a lot of this has to do with your nervous system, how well we're wired, and our coping tools, and our liver function as well, because our liver plays a huge role in recycling and clearing out these stress hormones once we've produced them. We produce the stress hormones to bring about a change, to put us into the fight and flight response so that we can have the energy to run away or to fight or to do whatever we need to do to stay safe and stay regulated internally. Like, we have to maintain our heart rate, we have to maintain our body temperature, we have to maintain all these internal chemical processes like our blood pH, our respiration rate and all this stuff. So stress and changes to our internal environment is going to happen all day, every day, but we need to make sure that our adrenals are supported, that they're nourished, they're nurtured. If they're burning out because we are burning the candle at both ends and we're not supporting our stress response, we're not coming back to balance, we're not nourishing our body nutritionally, we don't have adequate calm down activities in our life, and if we're always on the go, in that driven, highly engaged state, that activated state, we're eventually not going to sleep well. We're eventually going to have poor cortisol metabolism. We're going to lead to putting on weight, fluid retention, that puffy round moon face is a really common one, adrenal fatigue, feeling exhausted because we're not managing our adrenal hormones properly. It leads to weight gain that will eventually lead to imbalanced menstrual cycle, because your body stays in this fight and flight response all the time, because if it can't relax completely, because if you don't perceive yourself to be safe, and this is quite often a subconscious thing. So whenever you're dealing with any disease state in general, with any hormonal problem, whether it be endometriosis or polycystic ovarian syndrome, PMS, loss of libido, there's always an adrenal component. We must start with nourishing and nurturing the adrenals. Okay? We need to treat our adrenals always, and that is physically resting more, calming down, slowing down, nourishing the body with good quality carbohydrates and all these beautiful adrenal herbs like rhodiola, romana, withania, holy basil, Siberian ginseng, all these lovely restorative adaptogenic herbs. We need a nourishing diet which will be full of B vitamins and vitamin C and complex carbohydrates that are gluten-free, that give us fuel that's easy to burn, which helps our system to relax and calm down and have the energy to process our stress responses. We need to be doing things at a spiritual level that help us feel connected, okay? This is about really recognizing that as a human being, you're not alone. We are connected, whether it be with our community, whether it be with humans as a whole. We need to be doing activities of connection and community and feeling that support. We need to also, at an emotional level, we need to be really, really in charge of and in control of our thoughts, because our belief systems determine the way we perceive the world. And if we're walking around saying everything bad or negative or wrong, or we have all these beliefs that say bad things always happen to me, or I can't lose weight, or I can't this, I can't that, we end up negative, unhappy, anxious, completely stuck in life. So we need to be really in charge of our thoughts, our beliefs, our operating system, or our blueprint. These foundational beliefs that basically determine, again, the way we see the world, the way we perceive the world, and our emotional response to events, okay? If we're not in tune and connected with our beliefs, our values, our feminine energy, if we don't have that beautiful community support around us, you're going to lead to adrenal exhaustion and adrenal stress. So all of these things are important. Treating your adrenals physically, treating your adrenals emotionally, and treating them spiritually. I often talk about the adrenal personality types, and these are things like, putting so much pressure on yourself, having that perfectionism attitude, you know, living by FOMO where we never say no to anything because we just want to be a part of everything. We don't feel confident just doing our own thing. So we're giving our energy to other people all the time. Invisibility, where we don't set good boundaries, so people walk all over us. People pleasing is a big one. There are so many of these. Rejection of self is another huge one. Will keep you in an adrenal state because you're not really relaxed and fully accepting of who you are. So really overcoming adrenal exhaustion is so much more than just slowing down, sleeping more, eating better, and taking herbs or nutritional supplements. Some of you have probably already tried that. You're probably already doing these things and wondering why you're still exhausted, you're still angry and cranky, your hormones are still all over the place, you still can't lose weight. Because remember, when your adrenals aren't working, you will not lose weight because you're stuck in that stress response all the time. And so your body's going, all right, I need to save my fat cells for survival mode, for times of famine. And so your body's deliberately choosing to not burn fat. We need to get you out of that stress response. The stress response is normal, but to stay in it and to be trigger happy in that stress response and overproducing adrenaline and cortisol, bad news long-term for your health, your happiness, and your hormones. So I teach all these entire processes. We call this the holistic approach to addressing your adrenals because we address the physical element, the spiritual element, and the emotional element. And I really don't believe that you can do one without the other. So if you're wondering why you're still stuck, you know, years later in this adrenal fatigue, post that really stressful event, is because you haven't looked at the physical, spiritual, and emotional element. So check out the 7-step hormone healing system. Book a call with me if you want to learn more, or there's lots of information on my page. It's an incredible program. It's basically everything that I put myself through to overcome my adrenal fatigue, the 14 kilos extra weight that I was carrying, the cystic acne, the premature ovarian failure, and then the underactive thyroid, which were all caused by the adrenal fatigue that I was stuck in. It can have basically huge negative effects on your body if we don't get on top of our adrenal health. We cannot heal from things like endometriosis or polycystic ovarian syndrome or infertility if we don't first manage and reorganize our adrenal system and our nervous system responses. So check it out below.